Hello, hello. Welcome in. Sorry, knocking stuff over. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live. Hopefully, you're having a great hump day. Great, Wednesday, the 25th. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day. I cannot believe it's the end of the month already. I told you guys, like back in the middle of August, I was like, these next 2 months are going to fly by, and they have. They've flown by. So, we're going to go ahead and we'll get into tonight's live. Let me say hi to people in the chat and get my stuff kind of put away as I'm doing that. I am not prepared, apparently. I got stuff like everywhere. So if you hear stuff flying off my desk, those are just papers. Don't worry about that. I was putting together an order before. I had brushed it out on the desk, and that's what I just dropped. Also, you might be able to hear my dogs chewing on bones. I didn't realize when I gave them the bones that you might be able to hear them. So if you can hear them and they're really loud, let me know and I'll kick them out. I'll kick them to the curb. But I think just the one is actually eating one. But welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. Welcome. We do talk all things true crime here on our channel. So if that's something that you're into, you like to hear about, true crime cases, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, all the things. So, hey, Catherine, I saw Cheryl already had gifted a membership. Hello, Cheryl. Hey, Pooh Bear. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Faith. Ladybug's in here. Stephanie. I saw Jan was in here. I saw the blue. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Mary Beth. I'm like so slow and I know it. I'm like the slowest when it comes to like reading off names, but I always feel like I'm going to pass people and then I just end up being really slow. Hey, Pooh Bear. Is Aries in here? I didn't see Aries. But I also, you said his name, so I don't know. All of my new shows are on tonight after 4 months. Wow. Because it's fall time. Oh, yep. All the fall shows. What do you watch, Cheryl? What's your favorite show? Hey, Cupcake. Hey, Maggie. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Catherine with the C. It's good to see everybody. Hey, Mike. Hey, Stacy. I'm going to get to the bottom so that way I don't, stay in the crowd and the chat the whole time. But hey, PKC. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you again. If you missed us earlier, we went over the indictment part of the case against P. Diddy, Love, PD, Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever you want to call him. He's got a ton of names. She lost her bone. I might have to grab it for her. It's in the corner. You need help. Nope, she got it. She got it. Hey, Badger Witness. Hey, True Seeker. Hey, Sherry. Okay, welcome in, everybody. Welcome. So tonight I figured we would go over some more of the case against Diddy. I'm just going to call him Diddy, or the defendant in this case. But we went over, like I said, the arrest affidavit earlier, the indictment on him. He is facing federal charges right now for racketeering, I have to watch my mouth for a minute. So trafficking, and there's some more other serious crimes in there. There's a lot of serious crimes. Allegations include orchestrating these freak off parties where, they would do horrific things to women and men. And they would do it all under the guise of rugs. I really have to watch my mouth in the beginning of the live. And they use manipulation also for these people, for the women and the men that were, partaking in these freak off parties. So he could face decades in prison if he is convicted. So we're going to see how it's going to play out. Now, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more names coming up. I'm just not sure who's going to be on the good side and who's going to be on the bad side. But I am hearing a lot of rumors. I've been watching so many videos over this case. I've already watched this Nancy Grace as well. And it's a good one. She's She's on one. I thought it was pretty funny. I actually wanted to start covering this way back. When Nancy did like her first video over it, it was like months and months and months ago. She did a video. I forgot to bring out Nancy. But she did a video on him, and it was with Cassie coming out and his ex-girlfriend and filing the civil lawsuit against him for the crimes that he did to her. So she's been covering this case for a while, and I was like, finally, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're getting on. We're getting on the crazy train here. This is like really, when you think you've heard it all, there's a little more, like really, there's a little more. It's crazy. It is crazy. Thank you, Cheryl, for gifting 5 memberships. That's so nice of you. My dog's doing something weird. Oh, she's going to the bed. I feel like my camera is being slow tonight, but maybe it's just me. Hey, baby girl. It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. Hey, Cat's Life. Okay, let me pull this up so we can go ahead and get right into it, because she's not messing around. She talks about Eminem, and it's kind of funny to me because it's Nancy Grace. I don't know. But look at her. She looks pissed. She is pissed. It says Diddy boohoo. So she's going to go over a lot of the stuff with his ex-wife. She's going to go over the way where he's being housed, how he's being treated, what's on the menu. You wait until you hear what's on the menu at this prison. Bone-in chicken, steak. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They're eating better than I am. I mean, if you can afford it, but you can spend up to $160 a day, I think. That's what they said. So let's listen in to Nancy. And welcome in, everybody. Hey, Casey, welcome in. It's good to see everybody.
Who? Sean Puffy Combs behind bars. What is his life?
I like her jacket. Green's my favorite color.
Life.
Someone's been dressing her. Okay, I don't know who it is. But somebody's taken it amongst themselves to be dressing Nancy here recently. Over the last 2 weeks, I've noticed a difference in her appearance, like her clothing choices.
Like this as Diddy whines, trying to get transferred to another, more cushy jail. This as charges seemingly mount. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Bail denied a second time for disgraced rapper Sean Puffy Combs after his shocking arrest in a luxury Manhattan hotel.
What are we learning about Diddy, Sean Combs' life behind bars? Listen.
Well, initial reports said Sean Combs is housed in the special housing unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center. We now know the music mogul is on suicide watch. Guards check on Combs on the hour every hour to ensure the rapper has made no attempts to harm himself. The extra monitoring is reportedly a standard practice at the jail for new high-profile inmates and not the result of Combs' psychological exam at intake. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo claims his client is strong, healthy, confident, and focused on his defense after spending 6 hours with Combs at MDC after bail is denied.
So
that means he is in a jail cell with his turtle vest, that thing that they put on you, the green shell thing. We've seen like Chad Doberman in it. We've seen, people in them before. That's the only thing that he has. They don't give you anything. Nothing when you're on S watch. You don't get blankets, sheets, pillows, none of that. They keep it cold in them jails too.
Let me understand what's happening. Is it true that Sean Combs, aka Diddy, has been placed in a suicide watch ward when he is not really suicidal? Joining me in all-star panel to make sense of what we're hearing right now, and joining me on the scene, crimeonline.com investigative reporter Angelica Martinez. Angelica, thank you for being with us. What do we know about the so-called suicide ward?
Yes, Nancy. So according to some reports, Sean Puffy Combs, aka P. Diddy, aka Brother Love, has allegedly been placed on suicide watch, and he is being held behind me in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The suicide watch, as we heard, is usually a standard practice for new inmates as they are being taken into the detention facility. But his lawyers say that.
Put her up. Angelica Martinez, did you actually just say that all new inmates go to the medical ward? Did you say that? Because that's not true. I think it's just Diddy is on the medical ward.
So that is allegedly where Sean Puffy Combs is currently being held, as far as we know. But again, I want to highlight that his attorney said that P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, is strong and healthy and focusing on preparing his defense. So reports are a little mixed on that. But yes, he's currently being held in the MDC, which is right behind me, as we know. And we have a former warden, Cameron Lindsay, who is actually on record as saying that Diddy poses as a very attractive target for other inmates in the MDC, saying, quote, to deliver a hit on him would be considered a badge of honor, end quote. So Diddy is in quite a hairy situation, whether he is on suicide watch or just surrounded by other inmates. Doesn't seem like it'll be going too well for him inside the MDC anytime soon.
Joining me at the MDC, Metropolitan Detention Center, Angelica Martinez. Angelica, please stay right there. Interesting that Sean Combs' lawyer is worried about him being a target of a hit. I just finished Diddy's
I need to read that.
former fiance, now deceased, Kim Porter's book, Kim's Lost Words. Now, this has been
Probably sold
published
out.
recently, posthumously, after she died, and it details a lot about Sean Puffy Combs' sex proclivities. Don't care. What I care about is forcing sex on other people, and even more important, ordering not just the hit on Tupac Shakur, allegedly, but also the hit on Tupac Shakur in an elevator where he was shot before he was shot and killed. He survived that hit. And according to Kim Porter, if this is to be believed, the attack on Big, the notorious B.I.G., Biggie. Is this real? But now the tables have certainly turned. Now his lawyer is worried about him being the object of a hit behind bars. Straight out to renowned psychoanalyst, Dr. Bethany Marshall, joining us, author of Deal Breaker. You can see her on Peacock. Dr. Bethany, thank you for joining us. The tables have turned, and I am not in any way condoning more violence. But this is quite the comeuppance to be concerned about a hit by an unknown inmate behind bars when, according to his fiance, he was the one ordering hits.
That's right, Nancy. Puff Diddy, aka Love, has been in full power and control in every area of his life, including being able to cheat on girlfriends, being able to force sex partners to have hours of sex with unwanted partners while on ecstasy and on other drugs. He is always pulling the levers of power behind the scenes. So the question is, behind bars, would he really be suicidal? I mean, on the one hand, he's impulsive and aggressive, which can be a precursor to suicidality. On the other, Nancy, he loves himself so much, and he is kind of grandiose. He thinks he's controlling everything from behind bars. I doubt he really thinks he's going to be there forever.
I'm very concerned specifically about the allegations in Kim Porter's book. Now, this was really...
He probably thinks he's getting out. I mean, I don't know. You think he would know, right?
Released posthumously after she passed. Okay. His longtime love, his fiance, we've been told. And
I'm sorry, I called her his wife, fiance.
Question on page 26 in my handwritten notes. does Sean Puffy Combs, aka Diddy, hate women? Because according to her, he by far preferred sex with males. Do I care? No, I don't care who he sleeps with. I do care if it turns into rape or if it turns into a sex attack. That I care about. But I'm curious, Dr. Bethany, I'm curious if this is true. Would that be a reason, a psychological reason to drug women and video them and all of these compromising situations, being raped while they're on drugs, having them beaten so badly they have to go hide out to rehabilitate and get rid of their bruises? Is that an and of course, I'm just a former prosecutor. The why is not anything I would have to prove to a jury. However, practically speaking, a jury would want to know that. Is that a psychological reason to torment women and degrade them and debase them because you really don't want to be with them?
You know, Nancy, it's one of many reasons to torment and torture women. You know, according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, there are 5 perversions, and P. Diddy has every single one. Frauderism, which is rubbing up against an unsuspecting person, exhibitionism, voyeurism, and sadism. Sadism is when you obtain sexual pleasure from inflicting cruelty on other people. In fact, with a true perversion, the perverse person cannot relate to others as full individuals with thoughts, feelings, and emotions of their own. They just become objects to triumph over, and they become sexual objects at that.
I want to be very clear. Sean Puffy Combs, aka Diddy, is not charged with pedophilia. He has not been convicted of anything yet. And under our jurisprudence, he remains innocent until proven guilty. And that is a fact. But I got to tell you, straight out to high-profile criminal defense attorney Tim Jansen, former federal prosecutor and now legal analyst, Tallahassee Democrat. Tim, here's the thing about this book by Kim Porter. One, is it by Kim Porter? Because it has an as told to here. So is it really from her diaries? Okay. Number one, that would have to be verified and authenticated. But if it is true, Tim Jansen, it's still hearsay. And it would be very hard to get this into a court of law unless, you can beat the hearsay rule with a lot over 20 exceptions, such as deathbed declarations. And according to a deathbed declaration, she asked for this to be published after her death. And she notes that it will hurt her children when they read it. But it's so full of very serious allegations, not just the forced sex allegations that we already know of. It talks about celebrities in and out of Diddy's home, all of them sleeping with him and or others. Is that true? Don't know. But what concerns me the most, Tim Jansen, is the very clear and very rich in detail circumstances and conversations that she hears about ordering the hit on Biggie, Notorious B.I.G., and Tupac Shakur. What about it?
All right, so it is hearsay. I'm not sure it's relevant. I'm not sure under 404B that would be admissible in any way. I'm not sure that would satisfy a dying declaration. As you know, dying declaration, impending death has to be occurring or about to occur, which gives it an indicia of reliability. Now, if they can find witnesses who can verify any of these facts that they eyewitnessed, and they probably are going out there now trying to find these witnesses, they could possibly call them in if it's part of the charges in the allegations.
Hey, Tim Jansen, I, like you, have already been thinking about those issues. This is a bombshell right here. If it's true, if she really said this, if I can prove this and authenticate it came from her writings, and these are her words. But think about it, Jansen, because what she says she overheard were conversations with another person. So there is another witness. And again, the federal indictment does not touch on the Tupac Shakur killing or the Notorious B.I.G. killing. So that would have to be another case. What I'm saying is charges could be mounting right now, because once the feds get a
Yeah.
hold of you, isn't this true, Tim? You were a federal prosecutor, now defense attorney. Once the feds get their hooks in you,
Mhm.
you're not going anywhere. They dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And I would not be surprised if more charges were added as part of, in furtherance of the criminal enterprise they've already charged.
Oh, I think you are exactly right. The criminal enterprise has many tenants, and once he's in custody and he's away, and he doesn't have the power over people, people are a lot more willing to talk. And a person who was not,
Mhm.
who was protected, who now is looking at 15, 20, 30 years in prison, they might be willing to talk, knowing that he's in custody and probably can't reach him, and they could
Mhm.
hide that witness and don't have to disclose his testimony for quite a while.
And
So
that's
you
what's
could see
happening.
an a superseding indictment, which could add other charges.
Another question, and this goes straight out to Shannon Henry, although I'm going to need a shrink on this one too. Shannon, president founder of SAS, which is Surviving Assault Standing Strong, a
Mhm.
nonprofit to help eradicate sex trafficking and abuse on women. Shannon Henry, I kept reading this, every page. I'm like, why did she stay with him? Why did Kim Porter stay with Combs? She's hearing, allegedly, according to her, planning a hit on Tupac Shakur, and then it did happen. He was shot in an elevator years before he's finally killed. He survived that, and he suspected that Sean Combs was behind that hit. Okay. And according to Porter, he was. Then she overhears sitting at the table. It's not like she's listening at the door. She's sitting there hearing the discussion of no more protection for Biggie. If Biggie's not loyal to Combs 150%, then Combs can't protect him anymore. And what if he gets killed? And he goes so far.
Do you remember that stupid ass song that he wrote? Him and Faith Evans. It was that "I'll Be Missing You" song. I never preferred it, but everyone liked it. I don't know why, but that just flashed in my brain. Them at the MTV Music Awards performing that song. Who was the other person on that song? Faith Evans and Puffy, and who was the other person? I never liked the song. Maybe it was because it was sad, but I thought it was like there was somebody else in there, wasn't there? 112. Featuring 112. Okay, because I was like, I knew that there was like another person, but okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I was wondering. Yeah, that's 112. I forgot about that. I grew up with this music, man. It takes me back a long time.
Far to say in this book, Shannon, that Biggie is worth more to Combs dead than alive. Why? Because it would ignite news and rumors about East Coast, West Coast feud, and it would help his business. Believe it or not. Again, this has to be authenticated. So my question to you is, Shannon Henry, if she's hearing him
What a business
plotting
plan.
these crimes, these killings, these shootings, why would she stay with him? Why do women stay with violent men and risk their own lives?
It's really simple, Nancy. It boils down to fear. Nobody comes up and punches you in the face and says, "Would you like to go on a date?" Right?
I heard that my foot position, sorry. I heard that I heard from it's not like a news source. So it was just somebody on like Twitter or YouTube. I've been looking everywhere. But they were trying to say that part of the 1,000 bottles was liquid, like GHB or something. But I don't think that they would be I think that they would have those two separate. Like, no, we have this many bottles of this many bottles of this. His lawyer came out and said today that he has 1,000 bottles of baby oil because he went to Costco. It's Costco's fault. He said they just give you a bunch. It says that's the simple explanation for the massive supply of baby oil. He buys in bulk. For what? For what? For what? The only thing I've ever used baby oil for literally was to take the makeup off my eyebrow or my eyelashes. My mom used to use it to suntan. Still wouldn't use that much. Maybe we'll.
We would never go. So what happens instead is they work their way into your life. They're kind. They put you on a pedestal and you feel like everything's good. They see me, they get me, until that pedestal turns into a spotlight and you realize you are in a spotlight only to be controlled, only to be manipulated, and only to be hurt so that they gain what they want, and you stay because you're afraid to leave. And when we look at his history of arson, physical violence, gun violence, mental anguish that he inflicts on people, as well as sexual violence and allegedly murder, it's really clear why somebody would be afraid to walk out of the door.
For a bail appeal hearing, Agnifilo submits an amended bail package. Combs agrees to have no communication with women outside of family members and the mothers of his children, to have no contact with known grand jury witnesses, referring to victim one, to use a private intelligence agency to monitor him 24/7. Sage Intelligence will ensure he has no cell phone or internet access, administer weekly drug tests, and turn over a daily visitor's log.
A daily visitor's log.
Diddy
Get out of
behind
here.
bars in a New York jail with alleged barbaric and dangerous conditions as he's placed on suicide watch.
In addition to snacks and hygiene items, Diddy has the option to purchase full meals from the MDC Commissary. His options include stuffed chicken with rice, eggplant parmesan, bone-in chicken, a rib steak, or beef chullent.
I don't even make that stuff. Did you hear the dinner menu? Where's this five-star resort jail at? You know what I mean? It's in New York, but really. Bone-in chicken, eggplant parmesan. Can you imagine being in your cell and you're calling down to the kitchen? Can I get the eggplant parmesan with a side salad? Like, what the? Are you kidding me? Like, wow. What?
He estimates eggplant parmesan.
I'll go back a little bit.
See
Right there.
Commissary. His options include stuffed chicken with rice, eggplant parmesan, bone-in chicken, a rib steak, or beef chullent. The estimated billionaire will have to watch his $160 spending limit per trip.
What?
$160 spending limit per trip. But where's he going to get money if they're going to be holding his assets from like 2008 and before? That's what it sounded like in the indictment. I mean, I don't know.
Did I just hear a ribeye?
Yeah, you did.
Let me check that. A ribeye, beef stew, egg parm,
Look at the
chicken with
lunch.
rice. What? Whoa. Well, let me see. Grits, oatmeal,
Tacos.
pancakes, syrup, French toast. I'd like some French toast.
I would love French
What's
toast.
for lunch? Chicken wrap, hamburgers, baked chicken, tacos. I would love a taco. Dinner, roast beef. I'd like that. Salisbury steak, fajitas. What? Okay.
Baked
Sydney
beef?
Sumner joining me, crimeonline.com investigative reporter, joining us along
Barbecue
with
pork,
Angelica
that sounds good.
Martinez outside of MDC, Metropolitan Detention Center. Sydney Sumner, a steak? He can have a steak whenever he wants it? What, do you just order it?
Yes, there are several different meals that Diddy could be ordering instead of what's on the regular daily menu. And those meals cost anywhere from $5 to nearly $10 for that rib steak. But yes, he has access to all of that, all kinds of snacks. He does have to watch that $160 spending limit. And it's unclear how many times a week he can visit this commissary. Maybe once a week,
It
twice
says
a week.
160
It doesn't-
bucks per trip. So, okay, I'm just
Yes, ma'am.
trying to understand why he is getting special treatment behind bars, because his lawyer has been very clear that he is not suicidal at all, but yet he's on suicide watch. What does that mean? That means he's very likely in the medical unit and getting special privileges. Can we just get real for just one moment? Chris McDonough joining me, director, Cold Case Foundation, former homicide detective and former vice detective. He's a star of YouTube channel, The Interview Room. Chris, please, just can we speak very clearly and candidly? When rich, famous people go to jail and they're awaiting trial, they can't get into a mini max, which is a mini, let let me see, supervised jail, where they have golf and they walk free and they wear regular clothes, that kind of thing. They can't go there until after their trial. Okay. Before their trial, when they're in a holding facility such as MDC, they get special privileges. Why? Not sure. But they get a private room very often. They get special treatment, special meals. They don't integrate with GP, general population. They don't eat their meals with general
So
population.
they're safe.
It's a very rarefied position to be in. I mean, granted that you are in MDC. How great can it be? But it's still kid glove treatment. He is not suicidal, Chris. His own lawyer has stated that. So why is he getting kid glove treatment?
Well, we all know what happened to Epstein, So
Chris McDonough.
I'm just saying.
That is an absolutely great
That's why they
question,
need
Nancy,
certain people to be
because
watching
in
them.
these units, they're special housing units, right? The SHU unit. The whole purpose of that is to house somebody in there because of one, a threat assessment comes up that this guy is a high threat and or a high target threat, meaning somebody else wants to take this person out. The fact that this guy has an open buffet with a $160 tab on a daily visit is absolutely ridiculous. And why that would be occurring has to be because of his status, not necessarily because of anything other than that in this particular facility. And the other reason that they want to keep him in the SHU unit is to keep the comms down, the communications down to the outside, because he may have influence on an active investigation.
And I guess, psychologically, Dr. Bethany Marshall, coming from such great luxury and such a lavish lifestyle, I assume that's even harder to go to MDC when you've been used to that, as opposed to other people that are not used to that lifestyle. But that doesn't make it fair that he's being treated differently from the rest of the inmates.
No, Nancy, this does not make it fair. I am sure he is enraged at every limitation that's put on him in this place. And I would imagine his offending pattern, as we've seen it unfold, having power over people, being cruel, trying to have kind of dirt over other people so that he can insinuate them into his lives. I bet he's playing that out in the prison system, trying to talk to the guards.
He's already feeling for a guard. He's trying to find the weakest link when it comes to the guards. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But they have them in that medical unit, so they may have certain guards that they, just certain ones that they have on him.
Butter them up, get them to join in on his sexual fantasies so then he can rat them out and have power over them. The offending pattern is going to go on and on no matter where he is. Even if he has a bologna sandwich for lunch, he's going to have power, try to have power over the person who made the bologna sandwich for him. So it's going to be the same no matter where he goes.
We were talking earlier about how it would, quote, be a badge of honor if someone managed to attack Combs behind bars. Well, also, the reverse side of that coin is that the jailers and other inmates, just as it was with Epstein, can be easily paid off to do him favors, be his butler, give him additional privileges and items other people won't have. The next move, I guarantee you, on the upcoming court hearing in just a few days is going to be trying to get him to a cushy jail. Now, what will be the reason? The lawyer gives the judge something like, I don't like it. Listen.
You can get certain number of federal inmates in Essex County, New Jersey. And in my experience, it's an easier place to deal with. I think it's better for the person being housed there, and it's easier to get access, to him.
That's our friends from AP, and that is the defense attorney, Agnafello, speaking straight out to former federal prosecutor, now defense attorney, Tim Jansen. So you don't just go in front of the judge when you got MDC full of 1,000.
Did you guys hear Mark Garagos was his attorney at one point? Wonder if he still is.
People, and so yeah, he doesn't like it there. No, that's not going to work. You can't say I want to move to Essex County because it's better. So what could the possible reason, a legal reason for Combs to be moved from MDC to Essex?
Well,
Yeah.
he's going to have to come up with a legal reason, like inability to get to provide legal counsel. His access is denied, or it's not as available in Essex County. He's going to have to give a
He
reason,
did. Yeah.
right? He's in
I
a
saw
shoe
it.
unit, as they described, for many reasons. But communication to the outside world can still be done. It can be done through his lawyers. Who knows what lawyer brings with them? Paralegals who have contact with his people. So he might still be in shoe, but he's still communicating. This judge is probably not going to grant any kind of movement. If there was any judge in federal district up there that would have
Hey, put
granted
Tim
him
up, please,
bond,
so I can see him.
it would have been the judge that he has. He has assigned a very fair
Hey, Tim.
judge. Yes.
Tim, at any point were you ever a judicial law clerk?
No.
Okay.
Not a law
So
clerk.
my first year as a Fed, I was a clerk to a federal magistrate. They don't play, by the way.
No.
And let me tell you, wait for it, the eating arrangements amongst the federal judges. All right, wait.
I want to know.
I've got a point here. They all go into typically the law library. It's big, and all the law clerks and the judges go in there, usually the law clerks, because they're writing all the memos for the judge. They go in there, or unless they have some fancy common area, but ours was the law library, and they eat lunch all together. You know, they drift in and out just like any lunchroom, right? So what about this judge going into the law library to have his or her sandwich that she brought, and they sit down and they have to look at the other judges and go, yeah, I did it. I gave him bond. Or, yeah, that was me. I transferred him to Essex. Why not? That's not going to happen. What do you think?
Well, I will tell you that the magistrate judges get the hint, and they understand what the circuit judges want. They work for the district judge. So they're not going to be granting bonds and giving liberal bonds to conservative judges. On the other hand, if they have
any federal judge is going to make a ruling in this case, she has to answer to the other judges.
That's correct. And the magistrate definitely answers to the district judges. And the district judge was not going to grant bond. Even the pleading and the motions that were filed by his lawyer, it was basically begging, and it raised every red flag any judge would see. $50 million bond and passports of his family and hiring his own intelligence. It was.
Yeah, it's like, you ain't got. I would be like, if I was one of his kids, I would say, speak for your damn self, sir. Because he is like, I'll give you my kids' passports. Like, I didn't do nothing. And I'm an adult. Like, all of his kids are of age. I'm pretty sure all of them are over 18. I don't know about his twin girls. 2000. Hold on. No, I think his girls, hold on, 2006, I think they were born.
Red flags all over it. I don't know how the lawyer made that argument with a straight face.
I'll see.
Please join us on our mission to find missing people, especially children, to solve unsolved homicides. If you're on the go, catch us on your favorite podcast app, where you can get all of our content, where we, in our own way, seek justice.
The DHS, Department of Homeland Security source, says Sean Combs kept sensitive and embarrassing videos from the sessions as collateral to ensure silence from his victims, who are often young women, barely old enough or still too young to leak.
Well, just reading this real quick, and it says Diddy was raised by his mom after his father was killed in 1972. Wonder how old he was when his dad was killed.
Legally consent to sexual activity. He further says the recovered tapes show women completely out of it, while male sex workers assault them on Combs' orders. The investigator says, in his opinion, Diddy's as bad as Jeffrey Epstein.
So that sounds like a surefire charge of blackmail. When you think about it, Sydney Sumner joining me, crimeonline.com investigative reporter, we know these videos exist. And now evidence is mounting that Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puffy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. Love, would use these embarrassing videos to, quote, ensure the women's silence. In other words, blackmail them. See where I'm going with this, Sydney?
Oh, I didn't know you had a
Absolutely, Nancy, and
1-year-old.
that is a very real possibility. You
2-year-old
know,
now.
before this indictment came out, all of these alleged videos were all just whispers, all possibilities. Now we know that those videos do exist, and those videos often depict women who are barely old enough or still too young to legally consent to any of these sexual escapades, whether they were willing or not. So we know that these videos exist and that Combs held them over people's head to keep them from speaking about what was happening behind these closed doors in these alleged sex rooms in his Miami mansion.
Okay, can we? You say that, Sydney Summers, that it's long been whispered. I don't know that it was necessarily whispered. Has anybody heard of Eminem? For Pete's sake, one of the greatest rappers that has ever lived. He's a lyrical genius. I mean, if you listen to you may not like some of the words he uses, but the man is brilliant. Everybody on the panel, listen to this. These are lyrics from Eminem, and he is talking about, I'll just say, a friend, and he says, because they like where my homies out west stay. Yeah. What we can just say, what? I'm like a rapper. R-A-P-E-R. Got so many essays talking about friends.
Don't worry, she'll spell it out
And
for
then
you.
he says, Eminem says, wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? I mean, is everybody blind? He's talking about friends, essays. He's talking about out west, Combs. And he says, I'm like an R-A-P-E-R, raper. Got so many essay, friends. And then Eminem has let me say backbone since I gave up cussing. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? He's clearly calling Combs a raper. And then he goes on to say, R.I.P., rest in peace, Biggie and Pac, both of y'all should be living. But I ain't trying to beef with him because he might put a hit on me like Teffy D, get him? And that's the only way you're going to be killing me. I mean, Eminem puts it out there. Help me out, Jansen. This is so clear. All this business about whispering about raping women and forced orgies and hits. It's not whispers. Eminem did a rap about it, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, like why did it take us so long to get here?
Well, none of this activity was in silence, and it was all known apparently through all the music industry in Hollywood.
I didn't
Hollywood
know. I'm not
stars
in
were
the music
showing
industry,
up,
though.
and for Eminem to put this out, if these are his lyrics, and did this publicly, and the way it's written and who's included, boy, he's got a lot of courage for
Right.
Eminem to do that.
Sex performance.
I don't think anybody else would have done it but Eminem. I don't know what that guy was talking about. I mean, if he could put a pen on paper and make it sound good, he'll say it. He's not afraid to say anything. I don't know if I feel like.
Performances dubbed freak-offs. Over 1,000 bottles of lube and more revealed in the unsealed indictment of disgraced rapper P. Diddy.
Will Sean Puffy Combs, aka Diddy, get moved to a better jail? We're waiting to find.
Do you get like your star taken away if you do something like this, you know? Or is that like a forever thing? Like, how does that work? Like on the wall, you know what I mean? The Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever it is, you know, like, yeah. He got his star, right? Now, if he's convicted of all these crimes, do they just drill that bad boy up? take it out. I don't know.
Find that
They
out.
should.
Another court hearing is set for just
50 got sprayed with 8 bullets. He ain't afraid of nothing.
a few days from now. It's called a status.
Oh, and by the way, he's actually already got this in production to make a Netflix docuseries. 50 is capitalizing. Smart man.
Hearing, but that's basically a catch-all phrase for either side to
That
bring
just
up
came out
whatever they
earlier.
want. Let me tell you how this is going to work. We know what the federal indictment says, but we have no idea what all the evidence the state has, federal prosecutors have, to back up those claims. Right now, while he is living it up on a medical ward, even though his lawyer says he is not suicidal, right now, are the feds gathering evidence to mount additional charges. It by far would not be the first time that's happened. Charges like what? Evidence like what? Listen.
According to a Homeland Security agent, Diddy's Miami mansion has several rooms, quote, clearly dedicated to sex. The rooms stocked with sex toys, bondage gear, and lingerie are covered in hidden cameras that record participants from every possible angle. The investigator claims Diddy usually watched in person, but he could access the cameras from his phone or cast the live stream to a TV anywhere in the house.
Okay, so this is just now coming in, but the mayor, Eric Adams, that gave the key of the city over to P. Diddy or Diddy, he has just been indicted federally. So that just came out on Twitter a minute ago. Make room.
How
for your
likely
friend.
could it be, Tim Jansen? I mean, we see the feds go forward with this indictment after Cassie Ventura's attack video was leaked, where he drags her up and down a hallway, beats
I
her,
can't even watch
kicks her,
that.
and he is so bold as to come out in a luxury hotel wearing nothing but a towel. There she is trying to get away. This is what blew the whole oh, yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. Now, according to sources, she was running away from a sex worker in Diddy's room, which would mean it had to be being videoed. It's also been claimed by the defense she was leaving because she was jealous. What, leaving without shoes and getting dragged back and beaten? Now, that's not all. Wait for it. This is from our friends at CNN. Then, after he's dragged her that far, he waddles back to his room holding his towel. Now, watch Combs. He goes down to the end of the hall, sits down in frustration, and throws an expensive vase at the wall. Yeah, basically, he can do anything and get away with it. My point being, the feds came out with the current indictment after that video was leaked. We got it from our friends at CNN, my former TV home at HLM. Now this book is out. Okay. What, if anything, are they going to do triggered by the revelations in this book after and if it's authenticated? I mean, it's very in-depth about planning a hit on Tupac Shakur and on Biggie. Very, very clear.
Well, they're going to be probing through that book and probing through the house, probing through witnesses. They probably have teams of investigators that are doing each part of the investigation, the sex and violence, and possibly bringing in the people who were involved in the original assassination, the killing. So if they get together and they can charge up this enterprise, including murder, and they can prove it, then P. Diddy will never see the outside of prison.
Here's another theory. Jansen, here's another theory. Even if they don't go so far as to prove the actual murder, there is the legal criminal complaint of conspiracy to commit murder.
Sure.
Also, what about Kim Porter? Listen.
Even more allegations against Sean Diddy Combs are emerging from Combs' ex-girlfriend, the late Kim Porter. Porter's friends have leaked nearly 60 pages from the diary Porter kept during her relationship with Combs in a memoir. The author of Kim's Lost Words claims the pages were provided by a friend of Porter's, who also claims to have tapes Porter copied from Combs' files depicting Combs having sex with a male teenage pop star.
And more.
The diary pages reveal Combs hits Porter for the first time when she refuses to use a strap-on with him. Porter claims Combs hosts quote-unquote parties that are really just orgies and, quote, everyone wanted in. Porter details finding Combs' vault full of videotapes of Combs' encounters, many with young men, stars he had formerly managed at Bad Boy. The author of the memoir was also provided a photo of Porter using makeup to cover injuries Combs caused.
Does that support claims in the federal indictment that women would have to go hide out for days for their injuries to heal before they could be seen in public after a Diddy freak off? Now, listen to what we hear from the defense attorney, Mark Agnefello. This from our friends at CNN. Listen.
How do you defend against allegations that he hit, kicked, and dragged women when he's on video hitting, kicking, and dragging a woman?
Sure, he's not charged with hitting, kicking, and dragging a woman. He's charged with sex trafficking, and he didn't traffic anybody.
Okay, whoa. Did you hear that, Shannon Henry? Is so perfect from Agnefello. She says, what about beating, kicking, hitting women? And the defense attorney says, oh, well, he's not charged with that. In other words, should you believe me or your lying eyes? I mean, I saw the video, Shannon, and the lawyer's doing an incredible dodge right there.
He absolutely is. And that video shows a microcosm of what the whole relationship with Cassie was. It's here's an object. I'm in control of it. I'm going to do what I want with it when I want. And that's what he did. And, you know, Diddy, I'm so sick of him. I really am. And all of the playbooks that these people have, whether we're talking about Nassar or Cosby or Epstein or Weinstein, they're all on a sliding scale with all of the other rapists and pedophiles and traffickers who serve no use in our society.
The former rapper Jamal Barrow breaks his silence since his conviction and deportation for his role in the 1999 Club New York shooting. Now a leader in the Belize House of Representatives, Barrow maintains his innocence in the crime, claiming he defended Diddy in the aftermath, only for the Bad Boys founder to turn around and call witnesses to testify against me. Barrow says Sean Combs basically sent him to prison and called Combs someone who ruined my life. Barrow, just 18 at the time, was sentenced to 10 years for assault. Barrow served 9 years before he was deported back to his native Belize.
Talk about charges mounting. To Dr. Bethany Marshall, renowned psychoanalyst joining us out of Beverly Hills. Dr. Bethany, someone on the panel earlier said that witnesses may be more likely to come forward now because Diddy is behind bars. Now, this guy that we just heard about, former rapper Jamal Barrow, who is now leading an up and up life out of the country. Okay. Mm-hmm. He was part of the 99 New York. 9 years behind bars. Now, the Belize House of Representatives, for Pete's sake. But with Diddy behind bars, more is going to come out about that 99 shooting where a woman was actually shot. She lived, but she was shot. It implicated Jennifer Lopez. So when we were talking about Diddy behind bars, how does that affect potential witnesses and victims that were afraid to come forward before?
You know, Nancy, it could cut both ways. On the one hand, there could be witnesses who were afraid to come forward because he was going to ruin their careers or put a hit out on them or threaten them in some way. On the other hand, men like P. Diddy have a preoccupation with other high net worth individuals. That's why he threw all those big parties. And I wouldn't be surprised to learn that in the context of those parties, he took celebrities aside, showed them pictures on his phone, bragged about a dungeon, bragged about sex workers there, and like a spider pulling a little fly into its web, he slowly started to implicate them. So there are a lot of people who are afraid to come forward now that all these allegations have come out, because in some way they're afraid they're going to be implicated. They knew something and didn't say something about it. So we have the powerless who were terrified and now could come forward. Nancy, we also have the powerful who did know something and now are afraid what will come out about them.
Oh, that song was just released.
Of course, you have to take it with a box of salt.
That song was just released on the 13th of this month.
because it has not been authenticated yet. But this is full of celebrities that were in and out of orgies and more. Is it true? I don't know. But if it
Nancy,
is,
if I could make a
Hollywood's going to get a knock, knock, knock on the door for these people to turn into witnesses. And I want you to hear one more thing, guys. Diddy is living in an alternate universe with a very distorted self-image. Listen.
Combs started hosting his famous white parties in 1998, and they quickly became the place to be on Labor Day, an invite reinforcing your status in the entertainment industry. The parties have been hosted in the Hamptons, Beverly Hills, and even St. Tropez, France. Many have called Combs a modern-day Gatsby, a nickname he relished.
A modern-day Gatsby? Okay, my head spinning. This as Diddy behind bars. Boo-hoo. I wonder how all of the alleged victims feel tonight. We wait as justice unfolds and as we head to the courtroom for a P. Diddy status hearing. And one more word to the wise. Just recently out there, a so-called track from Justin Bieber about how he lost his life, his reputation at a Diddy party. That's not real. That's AI generated. Let's stop and remember.
What song is she talking about? There's an AI generated song out there? The only one I've seen them putting out is one of his actual songs. I don't know. Trying to see, like, yeah, this is the only one. Well, the Justin Bieber song that everyone's been putting on their like the lyrics and stuff that people have been putting online is that song Lonely. And let me see the full lyrics. Let me see what they were putting because they're putting it like a certain part. Right here. So it says, "What if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you'd know me because I've had everything, but no one's listening. And that's just lonely. I'm so lonely." And that's like the part that I've been hearing. I've been hearing like, I think each part, like, I think a lot of the song, but that's the part that I've seen the most. Yeah. Why would his mom let him go stay with a grown ass man at the age of 15 is beyond me. Would not feel right with that. Hell no. I would not feel right with that. I would not. No. Especially if my 15-year-old looked like Bieber. My niece used to love Justin Bieber. Before she realized that she didn't like boys, she liked girls. So she didn't really care for Justin Bieber anymore. I don't know. She had the biggest crush on him. And then one day she was like, nope, I don't like him anymore. I'm like, okay. But he looked so young when he was 15. Hey, Nash. I know, right? He has so many different names. But I'm just going to call him Diddy. Yeah, Carolina. Cat Williams has been saying this. I never thought Cat was crazy, but Orlando, I kind of thought he was. I was like, what's going on with you, bro? But I knew it was more than just like rugs. You know what I mean? I was like, there's something else there. Something. Me and my counselor, actually, we talked about this today. She like right when I was getting ready to get off with her, she's like, oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. I went down a true crime rabbit hole. And I'm like, oh, what case? And she's like, Diddy. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was down one last night too. And today. There's a lot of good like short videos on it, it seems like. Well, it's not Justin's fault. I mean, it's not his fault he was, taken advantage of. That's the thing. And the kid looked so freaking young when he was 15. I mean, maybe it's because he was a guy. Boys always look younger too, I don't know. But I did want to play you a couple clips from Cuomo show last night. He had Suge Knight on there from inside a jail, from inside a prison. I was like, oh my gosh, calls with Suge. So let me pull this up for you guys. There's two different, like, they kind of like split it up. I don't know. So we'll play both of them. Actually, what's this? It looks like Cuomo put it on his page. Now, does he have his? I'll be damned. They all got a YouTube page. But he's got a lot of subscribers, 405,000. Okay. This is the full interview. It's on his channel, so we're just going to watch it through there. You better not get me Cuomo. And I'll see what's coming out like on, Twitter and stuff too as we're watching this.
For people who have done a little bit of homework and know who you are, why should they believe you about what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him?
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you and nobody else getting nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, and I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not.
I'm gonna say this guy though. People feared really feared him. Like I remember being like a teenager and listening to like rap music and just getting into like that kind of music and hearing about him and being like, oh no, he's like bad. Like bad vibes.
Not no cheerful thing because when you look at it,
he wasn't fooling nobody.
That man have kids, and whatever affects him definitely affects his kids. And I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done. But for it being happy and proud and say what do people think, that's irrelevant.
So sure.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ. I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, or I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure, that Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with at the top. You starting with the top.
Can't smoke cigars.
Davis.
Can't smoke cigars in prison in the United States. Can't smoke at all, Cheryl. Can't smoke at all.
Simmons.
They took out smoking. What was that? 2006.
Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, He had an allegation from him, same thing. It went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists.
And we're hearing this from multiple people about Clive Davis. Multiple people are coming out and saying this stuff. So he's in prison. Sugar's like, so he's not out here, on the streets of like YouTube talking to people. Like, I mean, he is kind of, because he has like a little podcast, but where he gives information, where they could be like conjuring up stories.
Gets in trouble, they talk crazy. Let's think about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison. That's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand, what tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I wasn't no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'll go back there and they'll be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. That was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They used to take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second.
But if you just look. That's all you got to do.
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any Puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in. So everybody, you got to look at it like this. When you see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. But you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth fix and lipsticks and nose fix, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. Shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is. But that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about richer people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're
right.
Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Hey, I like to say this too, real quick. You got a woman that works for you is really incredible. You don't find too many people.
I thought you were about to implicate her in the investigation. I'm just glad you're not implicating Dusty in the investigation, Suge, because I can't take that.
She's not in the investigation.
All right,
but what I
good.
want to do for her is, I want to. And look, I got to do this for her, but I want to turn her on to this clothing line called Girls Mondays to Sunday. Girl Monday to Sunday, and I'm definitely gonna look out for her because I buy a lot of shit for a lot of people from that place. But look, what I was basically trying to say is this: I respect your show and respect what you're doing, but most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole bunch of years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience, Suge. You said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about abusive situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was sexually abused, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was sexually abused and he now sexually abuses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. But I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling or dead for the truth come out.
Do you believe
I think the truth need to be.
Do you believe that Diddy is in danger in prison? And do you have advice for him based on what you just said?
Well, the first advice I have, I don't never want to say he's in danger, and neither should he say that. Because once he gets to the point where they feel he's going to be suicidal to himself, harmful to himself, once they put him on suicide watch, you have the rights to nothing. No socks, no drawers, no T-shirt, no blanket, no sheets. You asshole naked in a cell as a crazy man. So he definitely don't want to do that. And the other advice I would tell him, you know, maybe he should get on the Jewish diet. Because the kosher meals is way better than the food somebody else is making for you. At least they're going to come hot. They're going to come sealed, and you got to be the one to open them. That's very important.
What about people trying to hurt him?
Go to jail. I mean, one of the things is this. I don't care who you are. Prison and jail is a negative environment. If somebody can do something to them and get a name for themselves, they're going to actually do it. Or they can do whatever they feel they got to do to prove themselves. But we also got to learn. We got to learn from our mistakes. Everything don't have to be a mistake. You got to better yourself. But we all know what we sign up for in life. So if I sign up to be a football player, I knew I'm going to get hit and I'm going to hurt some motherfuckers too. So I signed up to be in the music business and the entertainment business. If you fight for right, and being a black man, there's certain things you got to look at for the challenges. If they can't take the money from you, they take you from the money by putting you in prison. That's a fact. In Puffy's situation, he should go and get his time out the way. Not no life sentence. If he can get a lesser time, he should jump on it because he had a great run. I'm in prison right now. I had a great run. So I don't go mad. I don't wake up mad. I've been locked up for 10 years, and I ain't had a bad day yet. And it's a lot of things we can do to help each other, and it's never too late for help. God bless us to have a voice. Let's use our voice. I had told Puffy a while back. I told TD Jakes a while back. Shit, come on, collect calls. We can politic. Because one thing for certain, one thing for sure, you're just not going to walk away with one scratch on it.
Do you think
like that?
Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality to time versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. It's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
Suge.
And they've been having the power of the, yes.
I appreciate your perspective on this.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize he was going to cut it off that fast. I was trying to figure out what to put on next. I was going to check about the book. He has a podcast. So I wanted to give you guys yeah. Well, hold on. This is something about him. So it's not, I don't think it's like list of books by author Suge Knight. I guess there's a list of them. Oh, there's only 2, but they're out of stock. Really? Well, not American Nightmare and Your Pain Is My Joy. 100 Rounds with Suge Knight. So, I know that I heard that he does have a podcast though. So, and I think he does like weekly calls from jail or something like that. Very strange. I don't know. So the baby oil, his lawyer is saying that he bought it in bulk at Costco. They don't give you 1,000 bottles. They give you like 2 large bottles. We talked about this earlier. I should have went to Sam's Club and took a picture of the baby oil just to show you. I might have to. Actually, you know what? I can tomorrow because I have to go grab some conditioner anyway. So I'll take a picture and show you how much baby oil you get at Sam's Club. And if I have to go to Costco, I'll go to Costco. I have a membership at both. We have memberships at both places. So don't ask me why. In case you want to go to another place. I don't know. But thank you guys all for being here. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you guys don't mind. I'm going to look on Twitter a little more and see if there's anything. Okay, I'm sure you've seen that. I don't know if I could play this. No, it's like a minute. It would probably get me. But there is Justin Bieber. There's a lot of videos going around with him singing, that song Lonely, like I was telling you about. It's very sad. It's very sad to watch. But if you can always like look it up too. It'll like copyright me if I play it. And we've got 50 Cent. He is doing a docu-series on Netflix about Diddy. And then somebody here's the song, but it's 48 seconds. Man, damn it. They'll get me for that. I shouldn't have, I wonder if I turned off the monetization, if that would help. It probably would, but I don't know. I don't want to like take the whole stream down for a song. But they are all over Twitter. If you just type in Diddy, it'll pull it up. There's going to be so much more coming out. I mean, there's this person right here saying that she was trafficked. And she says, Allie Carter accused high-profile celebrities such as Joe Biden, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Diddy. Okay, where did Biden fit in there? Okay, so you see Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, and Biden together? I mean, I'm sure it could happen, but doesn't seem like they'd have too much in common unless this was their common thing. She might just be throwing the president's name in there. I don't know. I don't know who to believe yet. So I always want to be, I always try to listen. I've been trying to listen to a lot of short videos over this topic. And, but I don't know. I'm sure she's telling the truth. But I just don't know where Joe Biden fits in with Biden with the baby oil. Man. Wow. And I really hope Jay-Z ain't in all this mess neither, because I like his music too. I'm not really feeling that. When people are like be doing bad things, because then I can't listen to music anymore. So, wow. Let me see what. Never mind. I thought I was going to say something. Here's where it said it. Okay. So I don't know how true this is. I found the post about the liquid ecstasy thing. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you. And it's Diane Wallace. She has 85K followers. You can have a lot of followers though and tell a lot of bull crap. But it says rumors are circulating. It's not baby oil the feds confiscated, but 1,000 bottles of GHB drug at P. Diddy's place, a drug known on the streets as liquid ecstasy. The rug is a clear, slippery liquid that once applied to the body acts as a performance-enhancing additive, mentally and physically paralyzing an individual, and is known to cause comas and seizures. That's like the fake pictures, the AI generated pictures. So those aren't real pictures, but you can't order baby oil, seems. I think they have baby oil inside the store though. I don't know if I've seen it there though. I know they have baby lotion, like the little baby lotion, like the Johnson. I feel like I can see it in the baby aisle. I don't have a kid. I don't know why I could feel like I could see that though. We were just in there the other day. I'll go in tomorrow and I'll look and see if they have it in store. Maybe you can't order it online. Yeah, I did see that, Mary Beth. Good for them. I saw another creator was bad mouthing them for doing that, and they should be able to do that. I would too. I don't even want to know about Kanye yet. I heard that he's bad too, and that was like my favorite. That was probably my favorite rapper. Yeah, it was. It was my favorite rapper, but I guess I'll be listening to nothing because everybody's bad everywhere. Y'all crazy. Okay, so I wanted to show you this video before we jump off here too, because he looks nervous. So I saw this on Twitter. And I was going to show it to you. Let me see if there's anything else. There are so many things you should know, and they all know it. Wow. I went back. Okay. Yeah. Wow. This is going to get messy. There's a lot of people that have died around these people. There are a lot of people Oh man. And Kesha, I want to let everyone know Kesha did change the lyrics to her song. Instead of like, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, it's wake up in the morning like fuck P. Diddy. Now, these are the new lyrics to the song. She changed the song lyrics. All just you didn't have to tell her twice. She must have had this on the back burner. Thanks, Mary Beth, for gifting a couple memberships. It's very sweet. Thank you. And whoever got it, make sure you tell Mary Beth thanks. Thank you. This is going to be huge, yeah, Cheryl. This is going to be a really big. This is like all the people that I listen to. What is wrong with you all? Like, I didn't even know that Diddy was still a thing. I thought he was like poor somewhere. Really, I really did. I thought he like fell off. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was poor, but I just thought he was like, over here doing things like not like that. Those kind of things. Just wow. I feel for his children. It did say that he has his twin girls. I don't know if they're 17 now or from that article when it came out, and I don't know where the article went, but I was looking at their ages. And then he has like a daughter that's like 2. So I think that his teenage daughters are actually like 18 or 19 now. So they're all, except for his, youngest daughter, they're all old enough to be able to, move hopefully forward with their lives, at a certain point. But the daughter, I know that his 2 daughters that are the twin girls, they said they're not talking about it. They're like, just leave us alone pretty much. Like, we're not going to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. I can understand that. I hope that I know that people are not going to leave his kids alone, but I hope that they have a good support system. I hope that there's an outside support system that is not Diddy's friends, He didn't want to get old. No, he's not really that old. He's only 53, I think. 52, 53, something like that. Not very old. I hadn't heard about him in decades either, Ladybug. I was just listening to all about the Benjamins like a week and a half ago. And I was excited because I knew the word still. And then I found out this. And I was like, are you kidding? So, but if he does get charged with the Tupac and then the Biggie unaliving, and then he went on stage and sang that I'll Be Missing You song, that'll hit. That'll hit hard. Yeah, he's protected right now. But he doesn't have a blanket, doesn't have a pillow. He ain't sleeping. Now, Sugar's. Oh, okay. I know. How do we keep him safe? He's probably got, I'm sure he bumped up his security. I was just reading the chat a little bit. Let me see. And I was trying to see when his last party was, but I can't find that. I don't think it was his 50th birthday. It could have been, but that was a few years ago. So I don't think that was his last party. Let's see. And then tomorrow we're going to go over like the white parties that he used to have, who attended those, when was the last one. I'll look and I'll find them. It looks like 1998 to 2009. There's some other stuff. There's so much stuff on Law and Crime. Law and Crime has like taken this case and like ran out the gate with it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I mean, every video pretty much is Diddy. Wow. Yeah, they got a lot. So we'll definitely go over more of the updates tomorrow. I have a feeling there's going to be more stuff coming out every single day. So we'll probably do 2 lives, maybe a day. Do one in the afternoon, one in the evening. So And we'll cover it because we have other cases to cover, So, but that way we could cover both. Because I want to. There's some case updates. Like tomorrow we have Brian Kohlberger. He'll be in court. We'll see if he's dressed in street clothes or not. The judge hasn't put in an order saying that he can wear street clothes. So as of 11:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and let me double check before I say that. I'm going to go double check. He didn't make a ruling on that. So Ann will be probably freaking out in the morning calling. Can he wear what he wants? I brought him something. She doesn't really sound like that, but that's my Ann Taylor impersonation. Yeah, no, nothing. They asked on the 20th. This judge is just like, I'll get to it whenever I get to it, I guess. Oh, man. Yeah. I think people probably were there and left early. Yeah, left early. But man, I wonder when he goes to court again. I think it's a couple days. And I'll see if I can get all of his like documents and like his his I want to try to find his mugshot and stuff. I don't think they've released any of that. I wonder why not. Let's see. This was the bail hearing. That was a week ago. What's next? Let's see. So 5 days ago, remain in custody. He's 54. Let's see. Minimum of 15 years he could get. That's what it's saying on here. I was just going to see if it said on here when he was going to court next. Doesn't say it on here. My dog's out there making funny noises. She wants to come in. All right, Lee. October 9th. What are we doing on October 9th? No, October 8th, Narish back goes. October 7th, Sarah goes. All right, I'll come get you in a minute. She never makes noises like that. She does, but she doesn't usually at the door. You think it was? I was thinking, like, why didn't they release it? But I don't remember seeing it. So let's see. When I look it up, there we go. Is this it? I don't know if this is. I don't know if this is in the new picture or if this is like an older one. You guys can let me know. I don't remember seeing the mugshot. Oh, don't worry, Maggie. I'll be here to give you some news. 15 years minimum, yeah. Yeah, he better get comfortable. He's going to be there for a little bit. Now, this is a poster picture that you can get for $18. Now, who is going to buy a picture of him, mugshot of him? Get out of here. We ain't buying that. There's shirts on here that says Free Diddy. Oh, wait, is this his new one? Hold on. This one's different. This is his new one. I remember this one because we were making fun of it because his eyes. I forgot. I didn't mean to make fun of his eyes, but I did. Like his head looks like it's been like just someone's been like smashing his head. He looks different to me. He looks different. Looks like a different person. Yeah, black top. Yeah, it's this one. After I saw it, I was like, oh, wait. Yeah, we did show it. I only showed it once, though, I think. And it was like on a different live. We were just talking about it. So, yes, everybody that's in the path of the hurricane. Yeah, she's taken everybody out in her path. We saw last night, we saw last night the house that just got taken down. It was like crazy. Oh, one more thing before you go. I'm going to show you this. Okay. This was a minute, 9 minutes. It's a 1 minute, 9 seconds clip of Diddy looking really nervous. Looking real nervous at a event, I guess, that he was at. This was like recent. I'm just going to leave the volume off. Yeah, I'm going to leave the volume off because if not, it'll ding me. But you can see him looking around. Look at him. Like, just watch his mannerisms. Look, Flavor Flav didn't even acknowledge him. Flavor Flav. Look at him just sitting there with his drink with a straw. Look. Who gave him the kids' cup? He is supposed to be a billionaire, right? I would say you better give me something other than this purple cup with a straw looking like my kid's cup. Look at his feet going. He nervous. He looks like it. He probably knew. That's why there's no parties on the docket. Crazy. This case is this case is crazy. We're going to be here for a while. I feel like talking about this one. This one's going to be one I feel like people are going to come out of the woodwork knowing now that he's behind bars and they feel safer. I think there's going to be more women that come forward. I think that the woman that came forward just like yesterday, I think she's just like the first and the first handful of them. And I think the floodgates are going to open, especially if they start arresting other people. So I don't know. Now I want to know what happened to Aaliyah. Like, I want to know what they did to that girl because she was in there, she was under their care for long time. But yeah, Diddy looks like crap in his mugshot. He's probably feeling like crap. He's not getting out anytime soon. He's in there for racketeering. I mean, the worst stuff, really. I mean, ass trafficking, serious crimes, very serious crimes, bribing people, paying people, abusing people. I mean, hitting, kicking, punching, R-wording, everything that you could be doing. You know, everything that you could be doing that's shady, he'd be doing it. Now I gotta go through my whole playlist and see what songs. Yeah, his lawyer tried to get him out on bail. 50 million, man, you know, 50 million. I'm that judge was like, nope, sorry, not today. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the picture of the video of him in Central Park too. And I'm not just like people being people. I mean, he's not a person, but you know what I mean? Like celebrities, you just, I don't know. You don't think of him just like sitting there like he was. And he was just kind of sitting there looking around like he's weird. He did it all. Yeah, he's done it all. I was listening to one girl's story on Twitter and it was really sad. It was off of TikTok, but she, you know, came out and she gave her story about how she was introduced to him and like how they met and stuff and what he did to her. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think, I mean, there's so much more I could tell you. So, let's see. I was trying to see if there was anything that I want to tell you guys right now, but I don't think so. What's this say? Oh, never mind. But this, well, maybe. It says Ashton Kutcher expecting to receive a subpoena amid Sean Diddy Combs' trafficking investigations. Daily Mail claims that no strings attached actor wife Mila Kunis has restricted any contact between the two in light of recent events. Puffy and Kuchar even hosted the legendary White Party together on July 4th, 2009. This ain't looking good for him. This ain't the first guy he's defended that was put in jail for being a predator of sorts. So, Danny. I wonder if Diddy will get a deal. I mean, probably give him a deal. Give him, I don't know. I don't know how many years. I don't know what all he's done, so I don't know how many years that he should get. But maybe if he can see light at the end of the tunnel, he might spill out names. But I don't know. These are powerful people. And I don't think being in prison is going to save him from them powerful people somehow getting a hold of him. Do you know what I mean? Like through somebody, something, some way. So I don't know. But I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow evening, and I'm going to be on tomorrow day. So if you do want to be alerted, don't forget to hit the bell icon and go to all notifications so you're alerted to all the content that I put out. We're here live daily. So I'll be on tomorrow sometime in the afternoon. I'm not sure exactly when, what time, but just make sure you have your alerts set. It'll be sometime morning, afternoon, and then we'll come back on and we'll do a night stream as well. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.